All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Solomon BUCHI. Let's bring Solomon BUCHI back to the pulpit for a second here. Solomon BUCHI has decided to attack the great champion Anthony Joshua. Okay, now there's something I didn't really cover over the past few days here. Solomon BUCHI was he had attacked what's her name, TACHA, right? TACHA BBN, right? TACHA BBN, Solomon BUCHI, they went at it on social media. In fact, Solomon BUCHI was getting dragged left and right and center over the past few days because some people said he's a house husband. I think we made mention of it a little bit here, right? But I don't think so. I think he's a content creator. I think that's a viable job for somebody who has over 300,000 followers across social media. I think that's a viable job or viable income source. And if you don't think so, I'll leave you alone. Whatever. But he got dragged. It's apparently still something that you shame people with. Because once upon a time, let's be honest, we come from an era where if you say you want to become a actor, your parents will say, "Are you mad? Are you okay? You want to become a what? What is wrong with you?
Are you stupid? Are you a crazy person?"
Yeah, that's the era where we come from, and we still do that sometimes. You know, somebody says they are creating content for entertainment of persons, unless it's educational, and then somehow we kind of give them a pass. That's why people like me might get a pass, because I kind of edge it with education, right? Or I edge education with some cruise. But if you just say, I just want to entertain, I'm an entertainer.
Are you playing? What type of playing is this? This is playing.
Yeah, that's the era where we're coming from. So of course that was used to drag Solomon BUCHI over the past few days, because he decided he started it. He picked on TACHA. I think she was coming back from the UK or something like that, and she received a warm welcome, and Solomon decided to drag her. I'm reading from QED-NG. It says reality TV star Natasha Akide, that's her real name, okay. Natasha Akide, better known as TACHA, and writer Solomon BUCHI have clashed on social media platform X over a video of the BBN alum returning to Nigeria. In the viral clip, TACHA was seen stepping out of the luxury car to cheers from fans, prompting Solomon BUCHI to post a sarcastic reaction. And I quote, "This is literally the reason Nigerian celebrities don't like moving abroad, because they will miss the jobless Nigerians who fawn over them like this. Laugh my ass out." TACHA, who appeared offended by the comment, wasted no time in clapping back. This is what TACHA said: "Calling Nigerians jobless, but you set professional camera with mic talking about me. Screams joblessness. Better be thanking your wife for housing you, because you've been in the UK for God knows how long. Job you never see. Now you're just a worthless house husband and with ring light. Cry baby cry." Okay, not backing down, BUCHI responds by throwing a personal jab, and then he goes, and I quote, "My legitimate wife houses me, but you are housed by other people's husbands. Port Harcourt illiterates." Quote TACHA. Anyway, TACHA came back in a follow-up post. She said she couldn't cope with living in the UK. No. He said you couldn't cope with living in the UK. And then he said, "My wife is an actuarial scientist." Okay, all right, that's kind of wild. But anyway, let me see. I think there's a follow-up. How can someone's husband be dragging a woman online like a market woman? Let me just say a quick shout out to Uncle Bendo, because I saw his reaction to this. He's absolutely on point. You don't get on the internet and drag women. If you do, you lack self-respect. I don't care if you do it in the name of I'm holding women accountable. Even worse. Okay. If you get on the internet, even at a general level, and you're holding women accountable, there's a chance you probably have no wife at home, or if you have any wife at home, you lack self-respect, and eventually that your wife at home is going to catch disrespect. That's just the way it works. And like I said on my last episode of Solomon BUCHI, he's a fine young man and he's growing. Hopefully he will grow into himself. Sometimes a child might have a big head, a small boy, handsome boy, but with a big head. What happens over time? You guys tell me what happens over time. They grow into the head, and then suddenly he's Anthony Joshua and he's fighting. Do you know how big Anthony Joshua's head must have been when he was a child? Anyway, so he will be fine. I think I've heard enough from him. I know he will be fine. But until then, he deserves to get dragged in these streets for every commentary mishap that happens from him. Sadly, the wife go collect too. Anyway, but why did he make the news today? That was just a few days ago. He made the news today because he had something to say to Anthony Joshua. Let me play this video and then we'll take it from there.
How you know you're loyal. Anthony Joshua posted this a few days ago. How about if you do not cheat on your partner at all? Just don't complicate matters. You are not loyal by feeling guilty after cheating. You are loyal by not cheating. You are loyal when you are loyal. The best way to be loyal is by being loyal. Your guilt is nothing compared to the that you've caused to your partner, that you've caused to your relationship. It's just like saying if you feel guilty after doing someone, then you are a good person. Like, why is it relevant if you're a good person after doing someone? That's narcissism. You cause someone pain, but somehow the fact that you're guilty makes it fine. Gosh. No. If you cheat on your partner and feel guilty.
All right. So do you agree with him? Yes or no? Do you agree with Solomon BUCHI on that statement? Okay, my bad. You don't know what you're responding to or what it was responding to. This is what Anthony Joshua posted. Anthony Joshua said, if you cheat on your partner and feel guilty after, that's how you know you're loyal. Do you guys agree with that? Yes or no? Okay, let me put that on let's do a quick poll. Let's have a quick poll. Shout out to all the 100% people that have already hit the like button. I appreciate you, right? What did Anthony Joshua said? If you cheat on your partner and feel guilty if you cheat on your partner and feel guilty after, let me set up the poll. If you cheat on your partner and feel guilty after, that's how you know you are loyal. That's an interesting statement. True or false? Or false? Wait though. Let me see what you guys think. I misspelled it intentionally. True or false? If you cheat on your partner and feel guilty after, that's how you know you're loyal. Let me read some comments. That's what I know. You don't like Solomon BUCHI, but let's see if you agree with him on this one. A broken clock is also right at least twice a day. I said that right? A broken clock is right at least twice a day. So it doesn't mean anything. I'm just doing an experiment here. Okay. Let's see. I say Anthony Joshua used the wrong word to describe what he was saying. The right word is remorse. Okay. All right. I can see where you're going there. Isai says he doesn't even have a choice not to be loyal. Wala. You still want to drag him, don't you? Abby say you should show your respect by how you treat other women. Absolutely. It shows. You can't relate with dragging women if you're having a good time with your relationship with women in your personal lives. It's very hard. It's a very hard thing to actually relate with dragging women in general. It doesn't mean you can hold one individuals or individual behaviors accountable, but to just group women together and drag them and then justify it by saying, oh, we're just talking in general. If I see you do that at least 3 times, you're lying. There's something off about you. Okay? And yes, you could be pragmatic, you could be stating facts, you could be stating stats, all that. It doesn't change what I just said. As I say, he's smart in some ways, but dive into the part he's not. You know, Solomon had no business talking to Tasha either. Let's see. Adama, shout out to Dr. Adama is here. Where did they find this man that spends so much time online? All the social media influencer. I know. But it's an economy and it produces a lot of money. So it's like I said, it's viable, right? He's married in some ways, but dive into the part he's not. For this guy, it's a pattern, he stated. Okay, all right. Let's see. I hate it when Solo and Daniel are right. Who's Daniel? Who's Daniel? I'm trying to think. Who's Daniel? Anthony used the wrong. Okay, we already covered that. So let me see what you guys are saying on that one. Everybody, after 4 votes, we're not many here, so I'll take 4 votes. Everybody said false. All right, so I think the word is even if you use the word remorse, right? I think Solomon is wrong. I know exactly what Anthony Joshua is trying to say. He's also wrong if we interpret him literally the way he said it. Like that's wild. Like, why are we waiting until what are we testing, experimenting with cheating first before we know if we're loyal? Like, what's the point for this statement? That's what makes him wrong, right? But I know where he's trying to get at there. Like, okay, for some reason the universe has aligned. You're at fault. You made a choice, a terrible choice, and you cheated. He's talking about that state, but you feel sad about it. You feel a sense of guilt. He calls it loyal. I won't call it loyal. I won't call it loyal necessarily. I'll say you're a bad guy. And there's no way for me to shape, even if I replace it with remorse, because the point is loyal. We're trying to define loyalty. It's hard for me to define loyalty by gauging it against you feel bad about your bad behavior. I'm not seeing the relevance. But I think Solomon completely missed it. Solomon is trying to play the good guy here. Solomon is much more dangerous than an Anthony Joshua. Ladies, listen to me carefully. Solomon is much more dangerous than an Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is trying to say something. I bet if I'm trying to have a conversation with him right now, he will adjust it and we'll get to a place. So I can sense there's no coconut head in what he's trying to say. You see, what Solomon is trying to say, there's coconut head in it. It's called pride. It shows up sometimes as I'm a religious, God-fearing man. Yes, coconut head. That's how it shows up sometimes. I know many of you want God-fearing man, but in 2025, we better sit down and really go through a study of what that looks like. Because many of them are coconut head. What I mean is that they're close-minded. They can't see anything else. There's just one way. They can't see anything. They're not flexible. They don't believe in being flexible. They don't believe in adapting, right? Because it's one way. And they justify it because they're doing it in the name of God. You got to be able to read beyond just what they're saying. So let's listen to what Solomon said again. You can pick up what I just said in that.
After that's how you know you're loyal. Anthony Joshua posted this a few days ago. How about if you do not cheat on your partner?
How about if you do not cheat on your partner? Not just cheating. How about if you never lie or steal from your partner? Let's have those 3. And how about if you never betray the trust of your partner? How about that means including when you're upset? They've never seen you being upset before, but somehow you're showing them a side of you that you never showed before you were married, but now they're discovering more and more, and now they feel a sense of betrayal. You didn't mean to betray them, but they feel betrayed nonetheless. How about you don't do that? Just show up as an adult for the rest of your life every day and walk a straight line. That's the picture he's painting, and because he's going to attempt it, and if you don't attempt it, he's going to judge you. Close-mindedness. It sounds good when you just make it about cheating. But when we start to expand it and how this behavior spread into other aspects of life, is this sustainable without grace? Does grace mean you let people pass with bad behavior? Can you comprehend beyond just black and white ever? If you can't, this is going to be a struggle.
Just don't complicate matters. You are not loyal by feeling guilty after cheating.
He's addressing what was never addressed. He's talking about when you are in a place where you have to decide to cheat. Of course, don't cheat. But that guy, Anthony Joshua, was talking about after you have cheated. That's a different experience entirely, right? I still disagree with him, but I can feel a sense of open mind. He's trying to get somewhere. But this one is saying, how about you don't be a human being, period?
are loyal by not cheating. You are loyal when you are
Somebody just heard I said, if you're a human being, you will cheat. No, I didn't say that. Go back and rewind the
loyal.
videos.
The best way to be loyal is by being loyal. Your guilt is nothing compared to the that you've caused to your partner.
He's right. Cheating and betrayal of trust, period, does create damages that you might never be able to come back from. So everybody should know that and know peace. But I heard this and I found it interesting because I could just pick up between, if I was comparing the two, one is close-minded, the other one is open-minded. The other one is trying to have a conversation. This one is close-minded. Okay. But let me come to the chat. Let me see what you guys think. See, that's another thing. When you try to be a perfect human being, people will call you out on the other bullshit that you do, just like Abby just did. How about you stop exposing your partner to drags? That's a good question, right? Solo is talking from the way he schemed into picking his UK option because he preferred the Ascent. Wala. Marriott, welcome, Marriott. Marriott, how about you pay your bills to show your children you are a productive member of society? As Solomon contribute to his council tax bills? Not yet. He's trying to make money first. Okay, you prefer the word shame. If you feel shame, whatever you feel, okay, so if we go back to that statement, right? Let's say you cheated and then you feel bad about it, right? You feel shame, of course, but the reason why you feel shame is because part of your moral values, you just know you were wrong. You just know. That's all it is. It doesn't demonstrate loyalty because clearly you were not loyal. That's the part that he could talk about, but he decided to make it about being a perfect human being, right? It's not loyalty. If you've cheated and you feel bad about it, it does not mean there are many people that cheat multiple times and they feel bad every single time. No, you never see that one. You never experience it ever. They rearrange all my stuff here, so it's going to take me a minute.
I never expected it.
It's going to take me a minute to find it. There's probably a better way to sort it the way we used to have it, but StreamYard decided to change our layout here, so I gotta get used to it. Where is he? Shock me. Shock you. Shock you. Where is it? He shock you.
He shock you.
Oh god. Yeah. So this we got to think a little bit deeper. We have to encourage a deeper level of intelligence, not just whatever most people call IQ, where you can say 2 + 2 = 4 and you can do it in microseconds. That's no longer enough because everybody can do that. Everybody can read books. You got to think a little bit deeper now, right? You got to think emotional intelligence. That's what we have to think about. It's not good enough that you can walk a straight line. Okay, if anything, if that's all you're stuck on, you're just lame. That's all that is, and that's not a crime. I'm just calling it out. That's all. You have to be able to think beyond just black, white, right, and wrong. You should have moral values. You should have some personal moral values that you consider some things right and wrong. But you must be emotionally intelligent enough to say, that's my moral standards. And it's okay that other people maintain same moral standard as me. But I can't just talk out of my ass because I have a moral standard and expect everybody to follow the same thing on a black and white basis. First of all, this real life we live has never been that way. We're just learning more and we're evolving and we're discovering more about ourselves. You might call it devolving. I call it evolving. That's just a matter of choice. If you have a problem with me calling what you call devolving evolving, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're closed-minded. All right. Yeah, so that was Solomon BUCHI with the basketballs between TACHA and what's her name? TACHA and Anthony Joshua, the boxer. Let me know what your thoughts are. Join the conversation. These people, they continue to give us content. But let's do it. Let's move on to talk about the main story of the day. And yeah, I will be right back. Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.